Well, definitely, I was always the kid of the scene. Like, I've been playing since I played my first tournament when I was 8. So, I mean, rivals, it's always been just like local people. Like, Jason Wilson was kind of like my mentor, and I always wanted to like surpass him kind of because he taught me everything from the base up. In Street Fighter 4, probably, yeah.
Do you remember the first time you beat him in like a game that really mattered?
First time I beat Jason in a game that mattered was probably Third Strike. I got pretty decent at Third Strike, and when I got better than him.
Do you remember the match in detail? Like
match in detail.
It was fun time. It was so bad.
Or just any memorable.
That like in Japan,
what was the most emotionally charged match you ever won?
The most emotionally charged match I ever won was definitely at EVO 2003 in Soul Calibur. There was this France champion who had never lost the Soul Calibur 1 tournament, and he came over here. People paid for his ticket. He was like guaranteed to win everything, and we had to play first round in top 8, and I just destroyed him. Like, it was the best feeling because everyone was chanting USA and everything, and like there was so much like just power in the room. It was great.
Can you describe like the match in detail? Like
the match in detail would he basically relied on pretty much like what Daigo does, where he just reads you in his psychic. So he relies on this one move that basically goes under all highs, and it's basically almost all he does is this one move, and it's really effective and it beat every other American. But I had so much practice that I just knew how to kind of like
it's like an office cubicle.
the match. Like the first game was 3-0 rounds, and then the next game was I think I won the first 2 rounds, and then I lost the next 2, and then I was just like, I'm not losing this guy. I have to do it for USA, and then I pulled it out and I just destroyed him the last round.
I was teaching English for $30 an hour. And like I was able to stay there.
I was really happy, and then I went on to choke in Winter Sports.
Right? And then afterwards, like I'd go out, like I'd like go get smashed with my friends, like go to karaoke, go clubbing.
Somebody else's.
Most memorable match.
Somebody else's company.
So like most yeah, it's karaoke everywhere, but like it's actually fun, especially if
it's gonna be
because it's like
cliche to say, but I have to say Daigo versus Justin.
Like it's funny, like it's cool though, it's cool. Because like smoke everywhere.
Justin lost that.
Drinking culture.
Well, actually, there's a story behind this. It's like so I was talking to Ricky and Ricky Ortiz, and Ricky Ortiz played Daigo in casuals a few games, and Daigo parried his super in casuals, and he told me this. He was like, "Oh my God, Daigo parried my super in casuals. It's crazy." Because back then that was ridiculous. So when that moment came up of Justin walking back and forth, and like you could just feel that he wanted to do it, I was yelling, "Don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it!" because of what Ricky said before. And then he does it, and the rest
is
history.
The Americans didn't know the Japanese players like could like do shit like that. Like
it was just like America's level is only as high as America's level because people in America did not do that. That was not something you typically see. If you have meter and they don't have life, it's game over. But that really changed everything. Once we saw that, it was like, wow, there's so much about this game that we don't know that we need to learn.
So do you think this tournament, EVO this year, do you think they're gonna, Americans gonna step up and at the same time? Or?
This is definitely America's best chance at winning a game at EVO, I think.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Japan to compete?
Yeah, he's been there.
Yeah, I actually went to Japan.
This guy's like one of the elite players, man. You know, he's been to Japan.
I entered the Last Chance Tekken 5 qualifiers and ended up qualifying, and I beat like 6 people, and then I beat 2 people in the actual tournament. I tied with Bronson Tran, who actually qualified from America, and I'm pretty sure we were tied for the best, like the best placing Americans at SBO in any game.
Yeah, I was on a podcast yesterday. It was cool.
Japan is crazy.
And Mike
It's
Ross, right? And,
there's just arcades. Like
cool
you walk down the block and there's an arcade right there. There's an arcade over there. There's so many choices, and like there's always people. Like we could go at like 1 p.m. on a Wednesday, and there was still like crazy comps. Like this is something that people used to say about Southern Hills Golfland back in the day. That like the random scrubs at Southern Hills Golfland were better than random cities' best players. And in Japan, those random scrubs at those arcades,
they're good.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah, dude, like, you can get bodied by no-name players all day. They're not unbeatable, but, like, I mean, like, basically this is how it goes. When an American player goes to Japan, since, like, we don't have as much comp, what's going to happen is we're going to go, we'll get bodied for, like, a month or two, you know? Until we get used to their tricks, and then we start beating them, because they're not unbeatable. They're just humans like the rest of us. Like when people get in their scene, like for example, like Heart Nana, who's a famous Arcana Heart player also, he qualified for Blaze Boot in Japan, and like that's sick because like, you know, it's so hard, and you know, that guy lives there, like, you know, he's living the dream, he's teaching English out there, and he goes to the arcade on weekends. But like, you know, he was able to qualify.
Is teaching English a big thing that
Heart Nana
gamers do?
is actually from Chicago.
It's like, this is what
Heart Nana is actually from Chicago. He was a Soul Calibur 2 player that grew up, like, I basically taught that kid from random arcade scrub into basically what he is now, at least for Soul Calibur. And then he took that expertise onto Arcana. He played a little Guild Gear and obviously Blaze Blue now, where he's qualifying for SPL. So he did good.